All right, welcome to the Angelo podcast. Hope everyone's doing well today. Today's episode is about how to get over imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is one of the biggest things I've noticed a lot of people have in the Silicon Valley. A lot of my peers, a lot of my classmates, especially in business school, we all have something called imposter syndrome. So you may be wondering what imposter syndrome is. It is very tough, to be honest with you. But let me give you guys a actual definition of imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome is basically when you're at work and you feel as if you're not smart enough or you're not good enough as your peers, as your coworkers, and your classmates, right? In a sense that you think it's a fraud, you're here, and you think that you shouldn't be here because there's so many more people who are much more clearly smarter than you, as well as people who should be there and you shouldn't be there, right? That's one thing I've experienced at Google, at Meta, at UCLA, and here's my story on how I experienced it and how I overcame it, and here are my three tips on how to get over it, right? So when I first got to Google, I was working on like data center stuff, right? And I worked with engineers, program managers, technical program managers, and their level and depth of understanding of data center was so surprisingly good. They were very aware of how the business worked, how the technical side of things work, how you would procure energy, water, whatever it may be in regards to data centers. And I was like, man, I did not learn any of this at school. I have no idea how all these people learned it. They're so much smarter than me. I shouldn't be here. So I felt dumb. I felt as if I shouldn't be there. And the one thing about that is that at Google, you need to realize you're surrounded by so many genius level people, right? People who have their PhDs from Stanford, from Harvard, from MIT, a lot of great business people with MBAs from great schools, startup founders, people who sold companies were acquired by Google and now work there. And it's very easy to feel stupid or not good enough to be with your peers, right? Because, this person is so much more technologically advanced. They've been in the Silicon Valley longer than me. They understand this product more than me. I'm not good enough. Why am I with this person, right? And I felt that a lot at Google, right? And I'm going to get into my first tip. And it was a quote by Steve Jobs. And if you guys know who Steve Jobs is the individual who is the founder of Apple. He created Apple, and he told people the craziest thing was that once you get into these big tech companies, you start realizing that this world was created by people no smarter than you and I. So when you get into these big tech companies, when you start realizing the big truth of this life is that this world was created by people no smarter than you or I. That really hit me because it made me really understand that this individual next to me, he or she doesn't have this specific skill, isn't born with this specific genius level capability. They basically worked at it. They honed their craft and they created something beautiful, something amazing for this world. So what's that to say? It's that if you are ever feeling insecure about any task, any job, anything in this world that you've always wanted to achieve, just know that that person who has done it already has done it because they put much more time and effort into that specific task, goal, whatever it may be. And it was just the fact that they have more time under attention, that they put more time in down to pay down that ignorance debt that Alex Hormozy talks about so much, to learn a specific task or learn a specific skill, because they've done it much, much, much longer than you or I. So that engineer from MIT, who you feel so intimidated by, they have done engineering much more longer than you, and they're very skilled at it. So their brain works in certain ways where they can think of certain solutions aspects, whatever it may be, to achieve that certain thing, to get really good at that certain thing, because they have done it much longer than you or I. So that's one secret. My first tip is to realize that this world was not created by anyone smarter than you and I. This entire world was just created by normal people. So if you have a certain skill, a certain task, whatever you want to get done, it just takes time to learn. And you need to pay down that ignorance debt. So pay down that ignorance debt by learning engineering, by learning code, whatever that ignorance debt for you may be, whether it be learning business, whatever finance, whatever it may be, whatever it be learning basketball, whatever it is in your life, bodybuilding, anything. More time and attention will allow you to pay down that ignorance debt, and just realizing that this world was created by people no smarter than you and I. That's my first tip for y'all. My next tip for you guys is celebrating the small wins, whether big or small, just celebrating your wins. Another story at Google. Saw a lot of peers getting promoted. Saw a lot of peers getting high praise for certain projects, high-level programs, getting noticed by senior leadership. And I got jealous in the sense that, am I not good enough to get praised for my work that I'm doing? Am I not good enough to get praised for this certain project, program I pushed through the hard work I did? But, when you're new, you need to realize that your impact will not be as great as the veteran who's been there for 8, 9, 10 years because they understand how the game works. Think of it as you are like a basketball player where you are year one, your rookie year of whatever job, program you may be, skill you're trying to learn. There's going to be vets who've done well in this entire program because they've been here for 8, 9 years. They understand how the business works. They understand how the whole basic procedure process works in order how to do well and succeed. So they've been doing it for a minute. But you're a rookie. You're a rookie and your wins are small, but you need to acknowledge them. For me, I realized, hey, I pushed this program forward for the data center and my boss gave me $1,000 bonus. That's a small win. Hey, I really helped this partnering team to understand the new procedures and process associated and available. That is a small win for me. Next, I really learned how to have good balance when it came to taking care of my health. At first, when I was at Google, I was just eating a lot of food and not taking care of my body and just going straight to work. That is a win for me. There's all going to be these small wins that you're going to have, and you're going to need to celebrate them. Because when you celebrate those small wins, it gives this reoccurring feedback to your brain. Okay, I'm collecting these wins. I'm getting better at my job. I'm getting better at whatever task, whatever skill I need to be. So celebrating these small wins gives you evidence and proof to kind of tear down that insecurity that you may have with whatever task you're doing or whatever goal you're trying to accomplish. So celebrate these small wins, because when you celebrate the small wins, you outwork the insecurity, you outwork that feel of inadequacy, and you become a better version of you and whatever you're trying to accomplish. For me, those small wins were just learning to take care of my body, learning to take care of my job at work. I get recognized by my peers. I'm getting better. And there's this incremental increase in your career, in your job, in your life by celebrating small wins. I was listening to one of my favorite players now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, one of the point guard at the Oklahoma City Thunder, possible MVP candidate. And the secret he realized was that every day you just need to get incrementally better, little by little, with your career, your task, whatever it may be that you're trying to hone, and that compounds and stacks over time. So if you are trying to learn a certain skill at work, a certain procedure at work, a program at work, whatever it may be, or even your life in general, just get incrementally better every day. And you may not see that day by day, But over time, that will compound into something amazing. So don't be afraid to get better. Don't be afraid to just learn one new small thing every day and then realize 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 days from now, you're better. Compound that over a year, 5 years, 10 years. You'll be amazing in whatever you're trying to accomplish. 1 year of crazy hard work and getting incrementally better day by day can change your life in an instant. You become an overnight success over a year or two. Maybe 5, 10 years, you become great, amazing at whatever you do. For me, YouTube, podcasting, trying to get better at this, trying to become the best version of me, incrementally better at talking, at producing videos, at making content, to make you guys happier and help the world become a better place. That is one thing you need to do whenever you're in these new challenges, whatever it may be. Celebrate your wins, both big and small, and your life will be a lot better from it. I am your biggest supporter. I am your biggest fan, because I believe we're all capable of doing amazing things, no matter what mindset you're in right now, whether it be down, bad, whether you be at the top right now. Just celebrate those small wins, and when you do that, anything is possible. So that is my next tip for you, number 3. When you're ever in these situations, big tech, your career, your job, your school, whatever it may be, celebrate your wins, both big and small, and allow that to compound over time, and you will become unstoppable. Number 3, this one was huge for me. So very, very fortunate that through school, through Google, whatever avenue or aspect, I am able to go to therapy and connect and share my experience. So for me, connecting and sharing my experience was a big thing. I did it through therapy and did it through family and friends. You may not need to do it through therapy. You can do it through family and friends. You do to just do therapy, whatever me, vice versa, whatever is more comfortable for you. It's really important to connect and share your experience. So how do you do that? For me, Google has something called Lyra, and you can reach out to your therapist, talk to them about your problems, or your family members, talk to your family members about your problems. Essentially, I would speak to a therapist about my struggles at work, my feeling of inadequacy. Times I get good as well, but a lot of times it was through the hard times I talked to them. So for me, I would meet with therapists once a week for about 45 minutes to an hour and tell them what was going on at work, about how, hey, I don't feel like I'm good enough. Hey, I don't think I'm smart enough. I did bad in this project. I yelled at my boss. My scope is changing now because they don't feel that I am adequate enough to complete this. And it was all in my first year, trying to learn the ropes, learning everything. You're put under so much immense pressure, especially in Silicon Valley, where you feel that you have to excel, perform well. And I wish I knew that starting. I wish I knew that, you're thrown into fire, sink or swim, right? Because that would give you the mindset to just hit the ground running and just go hard, right? But like I said, you're a rookie. You will not know a lot of things. And a lot of times the people are doing super well is because they've been at the job, they've been at the business for such a long time that they're able to do well, excel, and kind of run circles around you. It's like LeBron year 1. LeBron wasn't amazing year 1. He did pretty good, but he was not the king. He was not the GOAT right now. He took him some time to become that version of himself. So whether you are trying to become a better version of yourself, you need to always connect and share your experience. For me, during my therapy sessions, I would tell them about all the things that's going on at work. The crazy thing was that my therapist worked with a lot of VPs, executives, directors at Meta, at Google, at Amazon, all these huge tech companies. And a lot of what I was sharing was very similar to what the VPs and directors were feeling. They're not good enough. Their project's doing well. Because they're trying to do so good at work, their family life, they're struggling at home. They don't have a good relationship with their family because they're never at home. The project or program is going to get cut. So they're scared they're going to lose their jobs and not be able to pay off their mortgage. All these things that you're feeling in your life, especially when I was feeling that, it is not just with you. You are not mutually exclusive. We all feel that same version of stress, anxiety, pressure to perform and do well. We all are in a sense maybe failing in certain things, but to the outside we look like we're doing well because we have this cushy job, and it's not true at all, right? So it's really important to connect and share your experiences, because that brought me a lot of not happiness, but a lot of relief, that there are people feeling the same way I did, and it allowed me to feel that it's okay to feel that certain way, that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. We all feel these shared experiences, but we tend to just have it inside us, where we let it manifest faster and destroy us inside, and we never share it. Especially in this culture of go, 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 achieve, win, make more money. That is a culture we have here in America, in capitalist society. I understand, like, a lot of people come here for this opportunity. However, when you're here for quite some time, you understand that it is quite exhausting. It is hard to feel inadequate, not feeling good enough. It is hard when you have so many people that you love depending on you to excel and do well in life. The crazy thing is that when you stop going so fast, 100 miles per hour, your brain gets like freaks out that, hey, I'm not growing, I'm not learning. And there's this weird caveat of like, okay, if I'm not growing, I'm not learning, I'm super unhappy. But then when you go too hard, you start feeling extremely unhappy because you feel overwhelmed, you feel stressed. How can I take care of all this? And there's so many times where, like at Google, where I have a project not doing well, not being received by stakeholders, not progressed, hasn't closed, and I don't know what to do because I haven't worked with the right people, or I haven't done X, I haven't done Y, I haven't done Z, and my success isn't where I wanted to be. And I felt so isolated, I felt so alone until I talked to my therapist about it. I feel better, right? But what really set me free was that all of us were going through the same thing, and I wasn't alone. So just because you have a friend saying, yeah, I'm doing great, in reality, behind the scenes, they may be struggling with whatever it may be back home, with their family, with people they love, with their boss, right? And it's scary. I've seen like directors, VPs who like are there late at night because they want to do well. Their family's calling them at home, but they have a project to finish, and they're losing sleep over it, and they're scared that they're gonna get fired, lose their job, lose their mortgage, and their family needs them. So there's so much pressure on people. It's insane. And my advice for you guys is to share your experience, because when you share your experience through your mentors, through your therapist, through your friends and family, that pain, that suffering, you just throw it out there. It doesn't have as much power on you because you're able to acknowledge for what it is. It's the feeling, the thought, and you're able to attack it head on. Talk to my therapist allowed me to do that. So share your experiences, right, with your therapist, if you have a therapist. If you have a mentor at work, I always do that. I had a mentor at YouTube. Always share my experiences with him on where I felt project was going, or I'm stressed out, how I can do well. And they would always give constructive criticism on how you can do better. It's because when you're failing, you feel that no one wants to help you. But in reality, it's completely opposite. People want to help you. People want to help people who are trying to become better and learn from certain situations, mistakes, inadequacies, whatever they feel, because they want to help that person grow. It gives them a sense of accomplishment, knowing that, hey, this person reached out for help. I will give everything I can to help them and make sure that they do well. 99.99% of these people in the world are good. 99.99% of your coworkers are good. So do your best to just give back when someone reaches out to you for help, but also share your experience of failure, of inadequacy with people who are going through it, with people who you trust, like your therapist, like your mentors at work, like your family members. Share those connected experiences, because you will put that feeling out there, acknowledge that things is just thought. It's not, it's there. It can't hurt me if I put it out there, and you'll be able to address it more. When you talk to your therapist, they give you constructive criticism on how to approach your feelings, how you should be able to learn from it, teach how to meditate. Your mentors who've been at work and have been doing this for a long time, they'll give you actionable advice, strategy behind everything on how to do well, how to execute, and just basically do things a lot better. And talk to your friends and your family, especially people you love and trust. They're there for you no matter what. A lot of times they'll be the ones to pick you up and tell you not to forget who you are, that you are capable of achieving amazing things. So talk to your friends and family about certain things, right? Especially if you feel comfortable with these people, right? So the imposter syndrome is real. We all feel it in Silicon Valley. I thought I outworked it, right? I thought by going to UCLA, by getting a job at Google, by working at Meta, doing all these crazy things in Silicon Valley and in my career, I thought it would go away. It never did. There's always this new thing that I never feel good enough, I never feel accomplished, right? By doing these three things, by basically just challenging my inner critic to believe that honestly this world is created by people no smarter than you and I, by celebrating my big wins, small wins, whatever it may be, and then just by talking about my emotions, my problems, and connecting with my experience with people I care about and love, I was able to get over this imposter syndrome. It still comes here and there, but I have my tools now to really kind of make my life, my experience a lot better when I experience imposter syndrome. So really take these three tips and use it to address your imposter syndrome whenever you get that big job, whenever you're working in Silicon Valley, whenever you're doing whatever is important to you, whether it be becoming a father, a mother, whether it be achieving certain things in life. Don't be afraid to use these experiences, use these tools to get over this imposter syndrome, because I believe in you. You can achieve whatever you want in this world. You are good enough. You are smart enough. You are kind enough. You are amazing enough to do anything you set your mind to. Jello fam, I love you. Get over this imposter syndrome. Use these three tools to help with that. Have an amazing day, Jello family. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We are growing so fast on the podcast, and I appreciate y'all so much. Have an amazing day, Jello family. Peace.